Bung bung. I have two dogs, a fat one and a fussy one. And since joining Leica Pet Food, neither of these problems exist anymore. With Leica's meal plan, I've got my fussy dog. She loves the food. She's gobbling it up. So that means that she's not leaving her food for my fat dog to go and have seconds. You understand? So I got one dog losing weight, one dog gaining weight. They're healthier. Their poos smell better. Their poos look better. This is the meal plan for you. Whether you have a dog with, sophisticated taste, or a dog that just has taste buds and will eat anything. This is organic pet food. It's the best thing to be putting into your dogs. We like to watch what we're putting into ourselves, when we're not watching a movie at least. So why wouldn't we give our dogs, the love of our life, the best possible food for them? So if you want to jump on to Leica to get your dog eating the best food possible, go on to leica.com.au or whatever and use promo code GG-135. That's GIGI-135, like a little line dash 135. GIGI-135. And get your dogs onto the best pet food for them. Welcome to the Poddy is obviously powered by Bung Bung Coffee, the best dark roast really going around. I was on a date with my girlfriend, my partner, my life partner, the love of my life, the LOML, and a guy walks past. He goes, "Bung bung!" Hits me with a bung bung out in public. I was like, "Dude, what's good? How you feeling?" And he was like, "My life is trash, dude. It's trash. Tell me how to fix it." And I was like, "Well, the first step is order yourself some of that bung bung coffee, because you're probably drinking bad coffee. What are you drinking?" He's like, "Oh, just whatever's available. Nespresso pods, or just instant coffee at the house, or something. I just go to different cafes all the time. I don't know what I'm drinking." Dude, I went to a cafe on the weekend. It was garbage. It was this light roast, fruity nonsense. Like, dude, I didn't ask for a juice. I asked for a coffee. Some of that black nectar. No home loans. Dude, you going around getting fruity coffee? Like, what? And yeah. Bung Bung Coffee has a hint of like a blueberry undertone, but it's really that deep, chocolatey, roasted flavor, man. And that's what we're doing at Bung Bung Coffee, the best dark roast going around. We're talking Colombia, Brazil, Honduras, Peru, a perfect blend of South America, touching your palate, delivered to your door. You don't have to do nothing. bungbungcoffee.com and order it. Bung Bung Coffee, that's BUNG coffee.com. Enter promo code PODDY, that's PODDY. You're going to get 15% off of premium coffee delivered straight to your door. Doesn't get better than that. Bung Bung Coffee. And of course, support the show by going to claymcmathcomedy.com, buying tickets to all my shows, buying merch, donating, doing whatever you got to do to help us keep this thing going. All right? I'm full-time in this thing. I'm trying to figure out where the money comes from. I'm in the weakest comedy scene in Australia here. So I've got to go on the road. I've got to spend money to make money. So I need you guys to help me out. And if you can't afford to help me out, just share the show. That's all I ask of you. Share the show. Hit the share button when you see a post. Hit the share button from the app that you're listening on right now. Just share it to your Instagram story or share it to your Facebook feed. Dude, that's all I'm asking of you folks. All right? So please do that. And no further ado, let's start the show.
Welcome to the party. Best show on the internet. Ask anybody. You know it's easy money. Sit back, relax, get your headphones, everybody. Welcome to the party. Blackout in the booth. Every episode's a party. We go hard like Ricky Bobby. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Welcome to the Party.
Welcome to the party. Bung bung. It's your man Claytron, aka the Big Boss Man, aka the Clumsy Jeweler, because I'm always dropping gems, aka the Milkman. Because I always deliver, aka the PhD of podcasting, the Magnum PI of podcasting, the captain, the Paul Giamatti of podcasting, dude. Because I'm one of the best in the game, but some people don't even know it. You understand? We're going to be talking about the Holdovers a little bit later, or probably sooner rather than later, because I don't really have anything to talk about other than the movie. You know, gigs have been going well. We've been booking some more gigs. As I said before, go to claymcmathcomedy.com, check the shows tab, and check out if there's any shows coming up near you. I'd love to see you all there, man. Dude, we're looking for sponsors. We're looking for sponsors. If you own a business or work in marketing or partnerships, reach out with an email and let's make something happen, because I'm just trying to figure out ways to monetize this thing further and get more people to my gigs. I want to sell more tickets. Look, dude, we've been selling out these venues, but probably not ready to quite do like double shows or go to larger venues just yet, but I would love for that to happen. And that's just going to be marketing and word of mouth. So tell people about me, tell people about the podcast. And if you've got a business that wants some more brand recognition, reach out and let's organize some sort of partnership deal, low cost, high cost, whatever it may be. Obviously the higher the price, the more exposure you're going to get, the more brand recognition, the more logo availability, the more billboard presence. You feel me? So what we're looking at today, man. I had a date, as I said before, in the ads component. I had a date with my missus on the weekend yesterday, and God, was that nice. Haven't had a date for a minute. You know, we're parents now. You can't just be palming your kid off all the time. Your kid's got to spend time with you. And, you know, we all want a date and all we do is just miss him the whole time. So, that was pretty important, though, to at least get out for half a day. And, dude, we went to a dope restaurant. And right now I can't afford to give free marketing. But, dude, this place was elite. So if you're my friend and you're looking for a date place, hit me with a DM. But I'll tell you where to go. This place was fire, man. Good cocktails, good food, creative. It was like a Welcome to the Poddy podcast, but it was a menu. Unreal. And a menu is like Netflix, but on paper, and it's food instead of movies. That's a menu. But we're going to talk about The Holdovers today, which was a fun movie. And obviously, if we're going to be talking about movies, we got to go straight into Clay's reviews.
Comedy, action, or horror. Will this movie win an Oscar? Set design, directing, acting, lighting, or costumes. This segment is Clay's reviews.
Yeah, dude, The Holdovers 2023. I watched it on BINGE. It's available on BINGE. If you're in Australia, I don't know about the rest of you folks, but in Australia, it's on BINGE if you're on the BINGE app. And dude, let me tell you this. The Holdovers is like the Breakfast Club, but over Christmas. So you've got this teacher who none of the faculty like. So they're like, let's make him do, winter session detention or holdovers where parents can't have them come home over the winter break or they're on detention and they're not allowed to go home, that type of thing. You got kids like boarding students from China or out of state whose parents are like, nah, I'm working, man. You stay at school, you learn more, you do extra learning. There was obviously an Asian kid there. So they're doing that. So you got maybe, 5, 6, 7 kids, and it feels like it's about to be the Breakfast Club over Christmas. Christmas ham, Christmas club, the Christmas breakfast. And we do in my family, we do breakfast for Christmas. A lot of people do lunch or dinner. We do breakfast. Croissants with ham and cheese. You got bacon, eggs, baked beans, pancakes, fruit. It's all there. You roll out of that joint, and I'm cool with that. I know, you go into Christmas knowing what's going to happen. You don't count calories on Christmas, dude. That's nuts. Unbelievable. If you count calories on Christmas, man, I don't even know what to tell you. You're missing out. Because in this world, we really do need to just give ourselves a break sometimes. You can't just be, dude, I get it. You got to have discipline, but I've got to write jokes. I've got to record podcasts. I've got to edit content and all that. I don't do that on Christmas. I don't exercise on Christmas. I mean, I don't exercise at the best of times, but I don't exercise on Christmas. Dude, I hate Christmas, and I can just see people, like I'm driving on my way to go, drink cocktails and eat croissants, and I'm seeing people going for a run. And I understand some people like, I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to go crazy at lunch, so I'm going to make sure I burn some calories first. I get that, because some people live alone, and some people don't have anything to do till 1 o'clock. So yeah, maybe go for a run. But if you've got breakfast, dude, don't work out. Don't go to the gym at 6 and then eat at 10. Dude, sleep in. Give yourself a Christmas present, which is a cheat day. Chill out, dude. Slice some ham up. Make yourself a wild toasty for breakfast with mustard, seeded mustard. Butter with a bit of extra butter. Put some Christmas ham on there. Put some fucking sauerkraut on there if you have to. Obviously, so much cheese. And you know what? People are thinking, damn, that sounds delicious. I'm not done. And this might sound crazy, but put a little bit of basil pesto on there. Oh my goodness. Do you want tomato? If you do, you got to add some salt. Even though cheese is salty, you got to add some salt to the tomato, bring the flavor out, maybe a bit of pepper. I'm salivating, baby. And that's what you do. That's your breakfast, dude. If you live alone, no one can judge you. No one knows what you're doing. Only you know. And God. Only God can judge you. And I tell you this, he's not going to send you to eternal damnation over a toasty. Unless you let it cool down a little bit and then you fuck it. That's a problem. Don't fuck your food. Do not fuck your food. That's disgusting. It's disgusting. I've heard about people fucking all types of shit. Grapefruits, watermelons. I'm not down with that. I'm not really down with that at all. Women, that's what you should. Consenting adults. That's not even women. You can fuck a man if you're so inclined. But as long as they're consenting, as long as you sit down and have a full conversation beforehand, make sure that they're willing participants. Make sure they're comfortable. And nothing makes people more comfortable than a business proposal before coitus. That's crazy. So yeah, detention on Christmas. It's starring Paul Giamatti and then a bunch of people that I don't really know. And there's the main kid, Angus, right? He's smart, but he's troubled, of course. Why wouldn't he be? It's a film. It's a film about teenagers. Of course he's troubled. And then all these kids have different issues as to why they're not allowed to leave. One of them's in trouble. One of them's got bad grades. One of them won't get a haircut. So his dad's like, I don't want to see you till you get a haircut. This type of shit. You think it's going to be like a bunch of beef between the kids at the start, and then it's going to develop into a friendship. And that's a misdirect, because the kids get this opportunity to fly off with this rich kid whose dad is like a governor or something. His helicopter comes pick him up. But the main kid, Angus, they can't get a hold of his parents to give consent, so he's got to stay. So him and the teacher have to stay. And that's where you realize, oh, okay, this is going to be the relationship. This is going to be who forms the bond here. And that's not a spoiler. Okay? We could go straight into a spoiler alert, but we're not going to today, because you can see where this is going to take you. And that's Paul Giamatti. He's the teacher. And yeah, like I said, the faculty hate him because he's a stickler. No one really likes a stickler, man. I know I don't. Am I a stickler? Yeah, I stickle. I'm a stick man. Yeah. Yeah, self-proclaimed. I can be a self-proclaimed stick man if I want. I stickle to the rules. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got a couple Ks over the speed limit, nothing crazy. I just like to get there a little quicker than the map tells me I'm going to get there. Oh, you think I'm going to get there 3:35? How's this sound? 333, bitch. You know, couple Ks over. What other rules do I bend? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, podcast. Oh, what are you offering the people? Like, what are they going to learn when they listen to your show? Learn? Bitch, nah. This ain't education. I do have a PhD in podcasting, so yeah, I'm licensed to teach. But I'm also licensed to ill. And I'm just the illest with it, illest with the mic. You guys can see that. You guys can see it when I rap like Action Bronson. Several episodes ago, several dozens maybe of episodes ago. Hot chocolate before I go to sleep. Little Bo Peep got a lamb cutlet. Ain't nobody gonna do it without putting some dust on it, some must on it. Throw it in the bowl and throw it in the skillet. You know? None of that rhyme, but it doesn't have to if you're Action Bronson. You just got to talk about food. Food and then like mad majestic shit like, I sit down with a steak and cut it with a samurai sword. Oh Lord, that's so delicious. Don't tell my mistress. But before I eat it, I'm gonna kiss this. This is the best scrambled eggs I've ever seen, my queen. You know? It's the queen's birthday, not going to work today. Shout out to Action Bronson, trying to get him on the podcast. Fuck was I talking about? The Holdovers. So yeah, no one likes his teacher because he's a stickler. He stickles. And you know, there's rich kids with influential parents and he's supposed to just pass these kids. He's like, well, the kid's dumb, so I'm not going to pass him. And then the headmaster's like, motherfucker, pass him. And he's like, no. He's like, all right, bet you're on Christmas break duty. I don't like it. And he knows no one likes him, but he doesn't really care. But he does care, but he pretends he doesn't care. You know how people were like, oh, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks of me, man. Why do you care what people think of you? Oh, you care what people think of you? Yeah, a little bit. Otherwise, I would just be a full-on cunt all the time. You gotta tone down the cuntness. You gotta just be nice sometimes, even if you're not supposed to. If you don't feel like it, sometimes you wake up and you don't have a bung coffee. You still gotta be nice that day. Can't just be rude. And that's sort of this dude. He's just him unapologetically all the time, which is dope. You should be you, but be a nice version. So he's stuck babysitting a bunch of kids who couldn't get home for the holidays. Some of them leave. He ends up with this kid Angus and the chef. The chef is still there, big black woman named Mary. She's cute. She's got, you know, we learn a lot about her as well. The character development over the course of the film is lit. Some of the best character arcs. You got the three main characters who they all learn, they all grow, they all develop. They're all somewhat selfish and they all figure out ways not to be based on their growth, based on their personal circumstances and the experiences that they go through during the film. Yeah, obviously you think there's going to be beef between everybody, but then they're like family in the end. Cinematically, like colorless. It's all snow, so there's a lot of white, there's a lot of brown buildings and boring clothes. A lot of browns, blacks, grays. Is mad low-key, navy. But even though there's no pops of color, it is so aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It's beautiful to look at. Dude, I've been stuck at school during the holidays, man, because when I was at college, basketball was a winter sport. Goes straight through winter session. So our whole team, our men's and women's basketball stay on campus. We are stuck there. You get a few days off over Christmas. Sometimes, dude, I've played on Christmas. I've played on New Year's Eve. I had a guest on recently who, this episode is probably going to come out before the guest episode, but we talked about this time where we played on Christmas Eve. It was against Brown University in Rhode Island. So it was like just around the corner from where we were, 15, 20-minute drive from my school. And we played horrible. It was a winnable game. I think we lost. And we all had a lot of us had plans to go see family and shit. And coach was like, guess what? We got training tomorrow morning. Shit. We're like, all right, we're going to go back to Jersey for the night and come back. Bang, snowstorm hits. And we didn't think we could make it back. We called coach and he's like, figure out a fucking way to get back. So we're driving through a snowstorm, dangerous. On this drive, we saw 3 car accidents. This dude didn't give a fuck about our well-being. Get back for practice. Dude, we get back for practice. He's not there. Yeah. We get back for practice. He doesn't come to practice, dude, because of the snow. We literally put our lives on the line to get back for practice.
When you just talk about practice, we sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man. When you come in the arena and you see me play, don't you?
Absolutely.
You see me give everything I got, right?
Absolutely.
But we talking about practice right now.
But it's an issue that your coach
We talking about
continue to raise.
Man, I hear you. It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too. But we talking about practice, man. We're not even talking about the game, the actual game, when it matters. We talking about practice.
And he's not there. And like we just obviously just get drilled because we played so bad the night before. But that's wild. Holidays sometimes where you don't want to be as well, like not school in particular. Just like, yeah, I've had a couple holidays where like it wasn't really a holiday. Like my mom's whole family's from New Zealand. I went to New Zealand as a kid to visit family, and that's kind of boring when you're just like visiting old people, Nana, Opa, all that. Yeah, because you're just hanging out in old people's houses smell weird. They want to do crosswords. And it's like, dude, my vocab, I'm 7. My vocab is so weak. I don't know how to do a crossword unless it's about cats and dogs. You understand me? They don't have video games. They don't have nothing. They want to play. They want to do crosswords and play canasta. I still don't know what that is. I'm 34. Canasta? What is that? Is that a card game? Is it a tile game like Mahjong? What is it? I don't know. That's what they want to play with a 7-year-old. What are we doing? So I'm like, I'm in a place I don't want to be. Or like, yeah. And then when they die, my nana's dead, my opa's dead. And each time, I've had to fly back over to New Zealand, and you're just flying back in a just a whirlwind of sadness, man. You've lost family members, and now you're going over, and now you're going. That's your opportunity to go get on a plane and go for a holiday. That's whack. That's life sometimes, man. You can't just get up and go on holidays all the time, or maybe you can, because when someone passes away, all of a sudden you drop everything and then you go. And maybe you shouldn't be doing that. Maybe you should be going when people are still alive. Maybe you should drop everything every now and then and go. I guess the relationship with the teacher is like this authority figure and also type of like father figure almost. And that's what like a coach is supposed to be. And there's been like moments of guidance that I've received from coaches, but I've never had like a truly positive relationship with a coach. I think the last full season I played here in Adelaide, shout out to Coach Rags. I think probably that was probably the best relationship I've had with a coach. I think the coaches who believed in me the most, I don't know. I think I had coaches most of the time that had trouble telling you they believed in you, because like kids get egos, and I guess they don't want they don't want your head getting too big, but you also have to like have some level of belief in yourself. And I was confident, but not confident enough sometimes, I think. And I had one coach who I do feel like he kind of took my confidence away from me, and then he decided to tell me he didn't take any responsibility for that. And he told me it's called self-confidence. No one can take confidence from yourself. And I guess there's some element of truth to that. But also, like, you need to know that your coach believes in you. There needs to be an element sometimes of them showing you or telling you that. And I didn't get that from that coach. He sort of just placed the blame on me. And a lot of these situations where I felt hard done by and I look back on now, I can absolutely take accountability for a lot of the bullshit, the attitude. But sometimes you feel like you've given everything you've got and you're still not getting an opportunity. And it's like, you're just like, fuck you then, man. I can't just keep fucking grind. Like, I bust my ass at practice. You don't play me. You finally play me and I fucking kill. And then all of a sudden I'm back on the bench next game. Like, what's the point, man? You don't want to give me any flow. Flow is important. Flow is important, dude. I'm trying to think of some other coach. The same coach that I felt like didn't help me with my confidence. He did this thing. We went to Italy to play in a couple of tournaments and exhibition games, and he said, like, you are the only person that truly appreciates being here. But then he took that, like, that was a compliment. But he also took that back by saying, like, because you're not supposed to be, and it's because you're not supposed to be here. And that was true, because a player got selected over me, and then his sister was getting married during that time we were away. We were gone for a month. And his sister was getting married during that time, and he couldn't miss it. He ended up playing in the NBA, this guy. So, like, he was clearly very talented, so I was like the fill-in for him. And obviously, I wasn't like thinking that. I wasn't thinking like, shit, I'm so lucky to be here. But I guess I just had that energy about me, because I did appreciate being there. I appreciate every opportunity that I've ever had, except that, there's some regret. I do often think about, did I make the wrong choice with the college I went to? Should I have played Div 2 instead of Div 1? Should I have chosen just a different school? There's nothing that can disappoint you more than hindsight sometimes, so you got to stay out of that. But, like, yeah, I've never really had a coach that I just, like, had this dope bond with. I remember this one dude that we used to, or under 18s, I think it was, we had a coach that definitely believed in me, and he cared so much about basketball, about coaching. He still does. I think he really believed in me, and I think rightfully so. He gave me some opportunities that probably got me to some of the points that I got to in my career. And also a coach, like I said, I'm not trying to like shit on my coaches. I think my college coach, I had some problems with him, and I maintain that I probably should have been given more of an opportunity than I was given in college. But then, like, yeah, the coach, fuck, who was I talking about? Oh yeah, in under 18s, he really believed in me and got me going to like a point where I was clicking. I was clicking locally. I was clicking it at state tournaments. I was going to like Australian camps and I was clicking there. And I think he should get a lot of credit for that, but also like my high performance coaches and all that shit. But then my last like pro coach in Albury, I think he knew what he was getting. He recruited me because he knew I was good, and he treated me like that. I just don't know what happened there in that situation. I think I just felt like somebody was getting, and there's always someone in a team getting like some sort of preferential treatment, and I was off it. I was off of motherfuckers not playing defense. And I remember one training in particular where I spazzed and probably lost the respect of all my coaches. But they lost my respect too, because they weren't doing anything in a situation where I think we could have come up with a championship, but we're letting motherfuckers take terrible shots and then not play defense. It's hard to buy in. It's hard to buy in when everyone's not held to the same standard. But then I was getting paid to play, not paid to coach. And I guess they just wanted me to shut the fuck up. Shut up and dribble. And I couldn't do that. So that just got a bit sour towards the end there. Bonding through weird circumstances. Here's one. Getting a fight. We don't need to talk about the lead up to the fight. I'm going to keep this story brief. We get in a fight. I went for a headbutt. Bang. Both our heads explode. Don't know if you can see I've got a scar over this eye from the headbutt. It was a badly placed headbutt. This other dude gets a scar up here. We split each other open. There's a cloud of dust, right? People said it was like a cloud because blood just sprayed up from both of us. Ambulance gets called because we're both just bleeding everywhere. We both get into the same ambulance and get treated on the way to hospital. They're just basically just stopping the bleeding until we can get to hospital and get some stitches. And we just like bond. We just bond in the back of the ambulance. So you're at a point with somebody where you're at a point where you headbutt them. And then by the time you're at hospital, you're laughing and fucking around. And I think that's kind of what happened in this movie. These guys wanted to headbutt each other. They were proverbially headbutting, button heads, as they say. And then at the end of the film, they had this bond, unbreakable. I don't think the bond that me and Ambulance Boy had was an unbreakable bond, but I'm sure if I ever see him again, shit'll be sweet, We'll remember each other, put it that way. The chef, Mary, she has a significant sadness in her life, and she's holding it down for everybody. And although she's a woman and she's a strong woman in this film, it reminded me of the men's mental health issue, and that like we're still working through the stigma of mental health, and that we as men we hold everything in. We don't voice our problems because we're trying to provide for the family. We're trying to pay rent. We're trying to make sure everyone else is good, and we neglect ourselves. Even though sometimes we know that there's a problem. We feel it, but we carry it in silence. And that's what this woman, Mary, did. She spoke on it a couple times, but she was just getting busy. She's there over the winter, and she's like, these kids that are here, they need to have good food. They need to have hot meal. And I'm going to cook it for them. Hey, you guys, you got problems with each other. You got to figure that shit out. Hey, what you just said to a kid whose parents don't want him during the holidays is inappropriate. Do better. Now that I'm thinking of it more, she was really like kind of the driving force of the transitions that these people went throughout the film. She kind of coached them to get to where they needed to be. She was the magical Negro. Honestly. There's always one. If a film's lucky enough to have a black person in it, they are mostly magical. And that's true. As you saw in the Tony Woods episode, the worst episode of the Welcome to the Poddy podcast. It's definitely, dude, we're 430 or something episodes deep. And that Tony Woods episode was top 10 worst episodes. And it wasn't his fault at all. And I can't remember if I made a disclaimer in the solo bit that I did of that episode, but like, it was almost midnight here. I think I woke Kenny up with my, loud voice on the mic. And he, at the moment when he wakes up, he wants me. Even though he's fine with his mum during the day, he wants me when he wakes up. So he's out there screaming. All I can hear is Kenny screaming. And I was just so distracted during the interview. And I apologize to Tony. I apologize to the fans of the show because that was a shitty episode, man. So I'm sorry. I am sorry about that. I guess it was like a makeshift family situation, which even though I was raised in a not healthy family. Like my parents fought a lot when I was young. Then they separated when like I was 4 or 5 years old. You know, then I'm doing split custody. But my parents loved me. They communicated. It was healthy enough, right? I don't have like I didn't get beat up or anything like that. You know, I got smacked. I was brought up in the era of smacking. You know, we don't smack Kenny. I mean, he's he's not little, he's big, but he's only 2 years old. I don't know how you could smack a 2-year-old, but I know what happens. I got smacked. Like, yeah, it was a healthy upbringing is what I'm trying to say. But I had no siblings. And I was in a situation where I got to choose my family. Not that I needed a different family, because my father was a great father. My mother was a great mother. They still are. They're still around, and they still are great parents to me. I was in this situation where I was a single child. That's not what they called. Only child. And my friends became really important to me because I didn't have siblings. My friends have always been so important to me. So important. I've always... Yeah, and I've developed some real close friendships in my life. Most of them from high school, some of them from basketball. Dude, I thought college was going to be so different. I thought these were going to be like I didn't want anyone to overtake my friends from Australia, but you just hear a lot of people like, I don't know. I just kind of expected like, oh, you know, college, my college team, they're going to be my like friends for life. And roommate Dan, that's my brother. He's a Z boy. He's been on the Z. He came over for 2 weeks. He stayed with me. I've been back over there. I've stayed with him. That's my man, 100 grand. But the rest of the team, like, I don't talk to them. Some of them, I know for a fact, hate me. Misunderstanding, misbehavior, combination. I don't know. One of them thinks I snitched on him and I fucking didn't. Dude, snitches get stitches. We all know it. Even before that, he was a bit of a fuckhead, honestly. But life is weird. It shapes out different to what you expect. I was expecting, like, yeah, my college people to be my brothers for life, because that's what it's like in Australia when you play sports with people. Friend of the show, Corey Maynard. I mean, we played for our junior team together. We played state together. We went on to play college together. And that's the last time we played together, really. But we were always going to be brothers before that. Yon. I didn't go to school with Yon. He's not a friend of the show yet. Maybe one day. Maybe he'll sponsor the show one day. Shout out to Bree Built. But that's my brother from another mother, dude. We're going on a boys trip in a couple weeks. We're driving together, just me and him. And I can't wait. That's less than 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks from now, man. Shout out to Daly, friend of the show, Tom Daly. He's gone AWOL a little bit the last couple years, but he's a Z boy. That's sport, bro. That's sport. And Corey's sport. I didn't go to school with him. Most of my friendships are from sport, except, you know, Boardman. He's from high school. Shadiz, high school. Fiddy, Mill, all those boys. That's all high school. Pixie, Mardo. I'm not going to name all my friends, but you all get it. I've got a lot of friends still from high school, but a lot, like the ones that I really rock with outside of Shadiz and Boardman, all basketball friends, and then friends of friends. Yeah, my friendships have always been so important to me, and I consider my real tight friends, I consider like brothers to me. But I got the experience of meeting a lot of my family in Springfield, Illinois, my dad's side of the family, late in life. I met them when I was 21 years old. And my cousin Corey is like a brother to me. He is like a brother to me, dude. And yeah, that was really cool experience to meet him at that point of my life. And he called me last week. I want to get him on the show, man. I want to get him on the show because he's an interesting cat. He's crazy. And that's not a joke. He's crazy, man. But he's a dude, he he's like famous, dude, but people don't even know that he's famous. And that doesn't make sense. Infamous, I think Infamous is like famous for being naughty. Like I think serial killers are infamous and then like movie stars are famous. My cousin's like, dude, my cousin is famous, but nobody knows it. Dude, he's got to get on the show. I got to get that motherfucker on the show, man. But yeah, choosing your family, dude, that's what this movie made me think about. Most of the lessons I learned in my life is that you just can't really trust anybody. You know, I've got my friends who I consider my brothers, obviously, but like in business, you can't really go into business with a friend. I've got a business with a friend of mine, but it's like he's more of a silent partner. He doesn't ask to make decisions. He doesn't ask for like to be paid out yet. And I probably could I could pay him out if he really wants to distance himself from the brand, but that's probably the best way to do it. You know, I've seen friends have fallouts. Dude, I've seen friends sue each other over business. I've seen businesses fold because of lawsuits. Business and friendship don't mix, but I just don't think business, you can't really trust anybody in business. People make promises that they don't feel obliged to keep. People do that in relationships. People that are close to you, they know your deepest, darkest secrets. They know how to hurt you the worst. And some of them do it. Some of them will say shit to you just because they know it's going to hurt you because maybe you made a mistake. You know? People will try to hurt you with their words. You know, sticks and stones. People say like words don't carry any weight. Like don't let it hurt you. But people can hurt you, man. And once someone hurts you with that, I don't think you can trust them anymore. And that's really a lesson that I've learned probably more as I've been older. I probably just learned how to carry myself better as well. Don't bring emotions to everything. Like I was talking about with basketball before. I fucked up a lot of shit because of my emotions, I think. You know, you got teammates that do worse shit that get away with more. Whether they're more talented or they, you know, dick sucking's important, bro. You cater to the right people's egos, you're going to get places regardless of talent. And I've seen it. I've seen it at the junior level, state level, local league level, college level, pro level. Whether you're the most talented person on the team or not, if you suck off the coach, and I'm not talking Weinstein kind of suck off, I'm just talking like, you know, you just befriend them and all that type of shit. If you do that enough, you're good. You're going to be in the rotation. You're going to get your minutes and all that bullshit. Nepotism type shit. That was the wrong use of nepotism. But you know what I'm saying? You just got the connect, so you get the work. That's what I've learned. So, and that, I guess that is just, it's about who you know, not what you know. It's about who you know, not what you can do. That is the biggest lesson I've learned in my life, I think. It sounds simple. But the more you see it, that like you think you've got something, you know? You think you've got it. And then you put in all this work, you do all this shit, and you see some fucking hack just getting the work. And it's like, what the fuck am I putting my energy into this shit for? And that is life, brother. That's life. I don't know why, because I'm in a good mood, man. Like I said, I went on a date with my girl yesterday. I'm working full time doing what I love to do now. I couldn't be in a happier place probably in my life right now. I mean, I could if I, was consistently getting gigs and money and paid spots and all that shit. But, I'm doing what I want to do, how I want to do it. I'm in a good relationship, a healthy relationship. I've got family. I've got friends. I'm happy. I don't know why this episode's kind of like being grim, man. Just reliving some like negative experiences, I think. But this movie was good. Just made me think about all that shit, I think. Maybe I needed to get it off my chest again. I know a lot of that shit is probably repeated, but it was just one of those movies, I think. It made me kind of think of all that stuff. I think like this movie was really, really fucking good, man. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. My guest last week, the episode hasn't come out yet. Yeah, I'll tease it. Charlie Spargo from the Melbourne Demons. He said that he sees a lot of bad reviews come out. Here you go, Spargs. 8.5 out of 10 for the Holdovers. Think about that. You guys, I know this is like a comedy / film review podcast, but the comedy just didn't come out today. But I felt real. I feel good about this episode. I think it's better than, the last one I did. The interview with Spargs went really well, so you guys will love that episode. So when that comes out, make sure you share it and do all that good shit. But share this. Like I said, all I need from you guys is a share. But if you could buy some merch, that would just be phenomenal, man. Buy some tickets to my shows. Just share it, though. Just share the show, please. I'm just begging you to share it. That's all, man. Please do that for me. Share the fucking show. I love you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves. And as always, bang bang.